So I think people are going to be as surprised as I was while I was reading the script.
You play Lena, who is eventually revealed to be E's long lost sister. What clues do you think audiences might have missed earlier in the movie that hinted toward
Nothing.
this?
They're not going to think about that. They're not going to even know that that's coming because it's impossible to, put two and two together if you haven't watched the film. You start the film with, Eve being a child with her father, and the father hinting, saying, you looked so much like your sister. But you will never think that, this assassin that shows up in Hallstatt is actually her sister. So I think people are going to be as surprised as I was while I was reading the script.
What is Lena thinking in that moment when all is revealed? What goes through her head?
Well, I think something that moves every human being is family. And I think that it's a yearning that she's never had a family. Her father abandoned her with her mother. The mother died, and now she is looking up to this chancellor that has a cult, but she never had that family. That mom, dad, sister, dog. She never had that family system, and when she finally knows that this woman that she's trying to get is her sister, everything changes, and that's when she, turns and, just start thinking for herself.
Sadly, not long after this reveal, you do perish. Uh,
Stop! Stop! Don't say anymore.
what, was there ever a world where we got to see you live longer and kick some ass alongside Ana de Armas?
I don't know. There's always a chance, and you're in the Jogweed world. You never know. You never know. It's a good storyline. Imagine them both taking the world together. That sounds promising to me.
How did your stories or your character's story develop from when, like, did it change a lot from the beginning of the process to what we've gotten in the final version?
It changed, but very, very little. There are no bigger changes. I feel that the core of the character has always been there. um, but yeah, it changed slightly, but the core has always been there.
How much conversations did you have with Anna about building that screen time that you guys do share together as siblings? Well, were there conversations in, like, okay, how are we going to react to each other, and what are we both feeling?
No, we don't. We didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about what's gonna happen. We're just gonna ease into it. Let's see what happens. Let's
Yeah.
explore, and it came out nicely.
Now, I have to ask an unrelated question here real quick. You're also in From,
Yeah,
which is a really great show.
thank you.
It starts filming season 4 soon this summer. I was just curious, what are the odds that fans will see season 4 air by the end of the year, or do you think next year is probably a safer bet?
I think next year. I think the end of the year is pretty quick turnaround, because I feel that we finish November. So I don't know. I don't have high hopes at the end of the year, but next year, at the beginning of next year, it's gonna come.
Any vague teases you can offer?
I haven't read the first script. Like, I haven't read anything, so I wish I had more information. I wish I'd be like, yeah, but I can tell you. No, I have no idea.
Last question for you about Ballerina. What are you hoping that audiences take away from this film once credits have rolled and they're walking out of the theater? What do you hope that people get from it?
I hope that they were entertained. I hope that they were happy, that everyone did a great job, especially people that are fan of John Wick, and they expect this massive, beautiful action sequences, that they are content with what they watch, and they go home, to talk about how she kicked ass.
And she did. She
Yes,
very
she
much
did.
did. Well, thank you so much for speaking to me about the movie, and I look forward to everyone else getting to see this adventure.
Me too. Thank you so much.